What's up, everybody? Welcome to Top10Hoops.com. I'm your boy, Coach Jersey, and we're here on the beautiful campus of Palisades Charter High School, home of the Lady Dolphins' back-to-back championship titles in 2011 and 2012, where the head coach here is Torino K. Johnson. We're going to go inside and check out some of his philosophies, and we're going to also talk about the very challenging Palisades Beach Invitational. Come on in and we take a look. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Top10Hoops.com. It's your boy, Jeremy St. Louis. They also know me as Coach Jersey.
Yes, sir.
And I am pleased and honored to be here with my basketball brother, Torino Johnson,
Yes,
in the
sir.
Palisades Charter High School girls basketball program.
Definitely.
Back-to-back champions.
Definitely.
What's up?
Pleasure to be here, man. I'm happy you're here, brother.
Oh, man. Thank you for having us.
Yes, sir.
So, listen, I want to get into a couple of things with you about just a little bit about your coaching history, your philosophies, how the team's looking, and most importantly, the main reason we're here is for the Palisades Beach Invitational, and
Right.
talk a little bit about that. But I want to start with back-to-back championships, man. Like, how was that? What is that feeling? Because I haven't gotten that yet. I'm
Right.
still pursuing it. So, like, I just want to know, and you can tell everybody else, like, what is that feeling like? What is that like winning that chip?
It's just a real feeling. You work not just during your season. You get into the summer and you start building it up. And
Right.
if the kids are there, you can see it. You can see it. You can go, hey, I think this journey is the reward. We on that track. And so when you get the right kids in the gym and they're working consistently,
Right.
that equals championship caliber team. And that's pretty much what we were able to accomplish. So I wasn't shocked. It was just a unfamiliar feeling.
Right.
Just getting there and being in a championship venue and dealing with it properly.
Right.
And everybody playing it as one game. And so it was definitely a surreal feeling, that first one.
So what was the differences between the first one and the second one, you think? What was more gratifying? You think winning the first one, or man, we just went back to back? We just went back to back, yo.
It was more gratifying winning it to the first time.
Right.
The first championship for me was it was incredible.
Because you never been there.
Right. And so in your head, you have it written down, mapped out how you're going to win it. And then for it to become achievable. When you're in the midst of your season, you start to realize that goal is getting close.
Mm-hmm.
And the players are sustaining the growth. And you know, okay, we're going to get this championship.
Right.
The second championship, I expected it. It was
because you pretty much had the same group coming back.
We were returning and we were ready to go.
Yeah.
We felt like we were the best. We knew we were the best in our section.
Right.
And we wanted to not necessarily prove a point in our division, because they had put us in Division 2. But what we believed was that we would go further than any other city team in the state playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So we weren't even focused on city opponent.
Right.
At that time, we felt it was disrespectful for you to view us as just a city opponent,
Right.
as opposed to viewing us as a worthy opponent.
Right.
And so we would always schedule up and play the Mater Days and Orange Lutheran at the time.
Brutal schedule.
And we did fairly well versus Orange Lutheran.
Uh-huh.
The Mater Day game didn't go too well, but it was about the time that you played them. We played one team early, one team late, and you
Right.
saw the differences in that. I
Right.
mean, it helped us
Right.
go on a run.
Now, were there any like growing pains or certain obstacles that you had to go through, to get there? I know the one time, when we were rolling with Inglewood, and that time that 1 year we did go to state, we had to forfeit 14 games.
Yeah.
So it was very, very trying. Were there anything that you had to go through similar to that?
Definitely. Prior to our first championship, we had to forfeit games as well, as we had administrators that didn't do paperwork properly.
Mm-hmm.
And so we ended up forfeiting games, and we ended up as a 14 seed in Division 1 versus a 3 seed at that time.
Wow.
And that 3 seed was arguably a 1 seed because they went on and won the city title.
Right.
That being in that game with that 3 seed There's some school in Harbor City. They do basketball pretty well.
Yeah.
You know. And we played them, you know, to the end, to the very end, and we lost that game. And it was with a young group. And I looked at them, and I made sure that we used that game as motivation going into that summer. And so that was that carrot I was dangling out there for them. And I'd say, look, you played against this team, one of the best teams in this section.
Right.
And you played them well. You played them to the best of your abilities at that point.
Yeah.
Now let's take our skill sets and drive that a little further. And then let's play to the best of our abilities. And I guarantee you that we'll come out with a different outcome.
Yeah.
And that's what we were able to do.
It's funny that you said, you know, the skill set. And that's something you and I both take a lot of pride in.
Definitely.
And especially with the player development aspect of things. And you are probably one of the best that I've seen in having the proper drills in your arsenal to prescribe something for your team or a specific player. Talk to me a little bit more about that and your coaching philosophies and how you've developed that over the years.
Well, you know, just to give you the kudos as well. Being in the gym with you inspires me. I get excited when I look around the gym and I see Jersey and their work.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
go, oh man, I gotta take it up. I gotta take it up to a different level.
Same here.
And so, being a coach that subscribes to improvement, it's one of those things where I want to be impactful. I don't want you to come in the gym and just stay the same or get worse. I want you to improve.
Right.
And so I can't have you improve if I'm not improving. So I study my craft. I get in there and there's guys that coach basketball and you know, such as George Raveling. And I'll break down the Hawkeye shooting drill. And then I'll try to tweak it and come up with drills out of that drill that fit my personnel. And it's always rewarding because there's been someone who has paid it forward for you.
Right.
And so I get in the gym and you try to inspire and cultivate that talent in the gym so someone else is motivated to teach. Your players can teach as well.
Right.
And I spend more time listening to them rather than talking.
Yeah.
And part of the listening is...
It's a lost art, by the way.
Right? Part of the listening is with my eyes.
Right.
Is I see what you need. And I go, okay, let me subscribe this footwork to you. Let's see if you know how to right foot reverse pivot. And whatever you can do with the right foot, you should be able to do with the left foot. And so we're learning and we're working on teaching consistently. And that ties into my coaching philosophy because I'm a cooperative style teacher. I want to know what works for you. I want to be able to talk to you properly like a person. Not a subject. I want you to be a person. And when you know that a coach cares and loves you, then you'll go further. You'll continue to try to persevere. It won't be a try. Yeah. It'll be perseverance. Right. No matter where we're going. Let's say we're on a scale of 10 and you stop at a 9, you won't go, "Oh, I came up short." We'll both be applauding that 9 and know, "Hey, we're going to try to get to that 10." Right. But we eliminated that try when we were at 0. It was, hey, let's max out and get to 9. Right. And then after that, we can begin the next process. So, working hand in hand with my coaches. Love being in the gym with noteworthy coaches. When you forced to pick up a pad, or you're forced to start mentally jotting down things. You know, you got that Kodak moment. You're flashing with your eyes. You're trying to remember every drill. Like, that's inspirational, and that's what you subscribe to as a coach. Right. And that's what I want.
For me, I'm a junkie, and you know that.
Yeah.
Basketball junkie, and I've watched and spent so much money on DVDs and going to clinics. Yeah. How much time do you spend going over and watching, working on drills and working on plays and offensive sets and things of that nature, and watching, coaching instructional DVDs and going to clinics? What do you say? How much work you put in, hours you put into that?
You know what? I there's 24 hours in a day, and let's say you have a 8-hour shift at work, and you start subtracting the hours. I think most good coaches subtract before they add. It's just like when you're dealing with your roster. So I subtract the hours that I know I have to divvy up to work. And the rest of the time is, when am I not doing basketball?
Right.
Because basketball is what I do.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's as if I'm putting on my shoes, or I'm putting on my shirt, or hey, my phone rings. It's like replying to a text message or getting on a call.
Right.
That's how I'm doing basketball. And I'm looking through my check. I'm checking my list. I'm going down that line. I'm going, hey, what do I want to do next?
Right.
And I'm in the open, so I just pick something and then I start reading on a coach.
Yeah.
And I'll go, hey, you really like the 2-2-1. Well, then you need to focus on John Wooden, and then you need to focus on the disciples of John Wooden, like Denny Crum, guys who've excelled at it.
Right.
And so you have to be a student of your craft. You got to study it, and the more that you do that, the more familiar you become with what it is you're doing. This is an art, so you do it. You do it as often as possible. And for me, often isn't even enough.
Yeah.